Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter, and welcome back to the channel. We have two Star Wars comics to talk about this week to recap and discuss. First of all, we have The Mandalorian. This is Season 2. This is issue number 1, written, of course, by Rodney Barnes, with artwork by Horace Janti, the same creative team behind Season 1. I'm not going to spend any time on this because this is literally just like Season 1, a shot-for-shot adaptation. Nothing new is added. Great artwork and all, but maybe this isn't for everybody. I was certainly a little bit surprised when I seen that the price tag for this was $6.99. Doesn't mean all 8 issues are going to be $6.99. I'm contemplating maybe not even picking up the rest of these and maybe just waiting for the trade because that is a lot of money for the single issues here. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, don't expect any in-depth reviews because if you watched Season 2, Episode 1 with Cobb Vanth reveal, with the Boba Fett reveal, you know exactly what happens in this one. Next up, something I'm very excited for, and that is Bounty Hunters issue number 35. We've had this tease for a while that Boba Fett would be coming back in, and we get him in this. This, of course, is written by Ethan Sachs with artwork by a new artist. It's not Paolo Villanelli, but somebody that I was impressed with the artwork, and that is Lan Medina. This is called Target Fett. So we are in a new story arc here. We have the crew kind of mixed up. Tasu Leash isn't a part of it. Losha isn't a part of it. We open up with Tonga going to this bounty hunter guild hangout, recruiting more members for a mission. So she ends up recruiting Durge. She ends up recruiting Deathstick, this Claudite, Kel as well, who is from the Solo comics. Katak is the name of the Claudite. So basically, the Claudite incites this big kind of brawl that ends up showing that Deathstick and Durge are the strongest out of bounty crew. So those are the people that Tonga recruit. And the reason why they're recruiting a bunch of people is because they have to go after Boba Fett. And we know he's very good fighter. We need a crew to take this guy down, or at least that's what we think we're going to do, because then we go on the ship, we're going through hyperspace, and we know that Valance, ever since the battle in the last issue with the Inferno Squad, wiping his memory so he forgets about the Death Star 2 plans, and then they get to Rishi, the moon of Rishi, and they fight off against Boba Fett. So you have all these characters going up against Boba Fett, and finally Tonga is the one that knocks off his helmet and says, hey, I actually am not here with the Black Sun, because the Black Sun are actually putting a hit out on Boba Fett, but I'm here to recruit you. So that is how we get the ending of this issue, is Boba Fett actually accepts Tonga's invitation to join her crew for this mission that we don't know about quite yet. So I'm very curious about that. But of course, he says, I have one favor that you must do first. So that's a very cool way to leave this off. But a lot of awesome stuff in here. I like seeing Fett get his helmet knocked off, looking just like his father, same haircut. I thought he could be bald or have a very shaved head, because we see him that way 5 years after, or actually right after the Sarlacc pit. Maybe, I guess the Sarlacc pit could have possibly digested the acid, probably burnt. I mean, we do see his head's burnt getting out of that thing, so that makes sense. I liked seeing the Rishi bird people, or whatever the species is called. They, I think, first appeared in the Old Republic video game in the Shadow of Revan expansion pack, so a nice deep cut there. I like the overall new team. I think the layout is great, having Kel, having Tonga, having Bosk, having 4LM, having Zuckuss, having Valance, having Katak, Durge, having, Deathstick. So many characters now are a part of this crew. We even see a Dengar in there, but of course he's not joining. But he was with Manaru, which is pretty funny because she was sticking up for him. I like the great stuff coming out of this issue that was in this issue that involved the interpersonal communications or relationships. You have Deathstick hearing that Tonga's talking to herself, and she's wondering what's going on. Then you have Valance actually sticking up for, or actually Boss sticking up for Valance against Katak, who is he's like, give this guy some space. He's forgetting about his girlfriend and all this. He's writing down all this stuff to try to remember before his memory completely goes blank. So I thought that was really cool. And Boba Fett using every bit of his history, Boba Fett using every bit of his gadgetry, whether it be electro nets, whether it be knives that are hidden, rockets. Like, this is why Boba Fett is the most notorious bounty hunter in the Star Wars galaxy. This guy can fight, and if it's against all of these people at once, it's pretty badass. I do like seeing the conflict here, the big conflict, meaning that Tonga has to basically go after the person that that killed her for the most part. Remember, we've seen Boba Fett just shoot her point blank in the stomach, and we thought she was a goner, and she shows up later on in the series. So the fact is, she has to come to grips with having the animosity toward Fett and having a fear of Fett. She feels fear, but she's able to make an agreement, and they go through with it. So I love this issue. I think this is a great lineup of characters. I'm very excited. I think, remember, at the Celebration Yora panel for Marvel, they did say that one of the issues, I think in July, is going to involve Jango Fett, perhaps, and he is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. So I'm very curious and excited to see what new information we could learn about Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett, hopefully next month's issue. So, what'd you think of this week's comics? Let me know in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, I have my weekly podcast, Outer Rim Transmission, so make sure you're subscribed and have that bell icon checked off there so you see when we go live for that podcast. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.